All right. So this week we're joined by the one and only Neil Patel of Neil Patel Digital. In my reckoning, Neil here is the blueprint digital marketing guru. If you don't know already, Neil Patel, his website is home of one of the largest blogs for marketers, and it's been around a long time. It's been an amazing resource for me. Neil runs an agency, keynote speaker, best-selling author, and software entrepreneur. Kissmetrics, Uber Suggest. It's probably the tip of the iceberg. Correct me if I say anything that's not right here, Neil. But do you want to give yourself a little intro for people who don't know who you are?
Sure. You pretty much summed up. Digital marketer, been doing this for 20 plus years, a founder of an ad agency called NP Digital, blog at neilpatel.com, and we help companies of all sizes grow globally. We're in 19 plus countries, I think, at the moment.
Wow. And I've seen your recent post about the importance of posting, like putting content together in different languages and how that's helped you guys grow across your sites. I think that's a really great tip, and especially for businesses or in have presence globally in different countries. I don't know why people wouldn't be doing that. So um, I
Yeah,
think
it's helped us
your
a lot.
new site and like your presence and everything looks so great. But Neil, I mean, I've been reading articles for years. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Um, I wanted to kick us off by just asking you like why you're still in marketing or still doing marketing things. Like you've been doing marketing for so long. How did you end up in this spot? Like,
I love marketing, been doing it forever because I enjoy it. I think I'm decent at it. And it's a big market. Like when I mean market, it's a big TAM, which means there's a good amount of money to be made, right? If you love what you're doing and you can make money at it, why not? It's like playing basketball. When as a kid, when you love basketball or soccer or whatever, football, and you're good at it and you can make a living doing it, why not? Follow your passion.
when did you find out that this was like your thing? I know like you in college you had you like started the bit like what was it? Crazy Egg? Um
The way I really learned that this was for me is when I was 16, started a website, got no traction, paid a marketing firm, got no results, learned marketing on my own, got traffic to the site, and I fell in love with it. And I was addicted and I was checking my stats on a daily basis. I was like, all right, how many visitors did I get today? And I thought it was like the best thing ever.
that's awesome. There's really nothing better than getting that feeling when you first get something started and then like all that traffic comes in, you start getting some people talking about you and talking to you. Um, I mean, to me, it looks like you've just like been doubling down and doubling down and doubling down for such a long time. And now you have these assets, you have all of these great content on your site, you have all these people that work for you, they're marketing people. Um, I guess in what areas has it grown on you?
It, it's grown in a lot of ways, but not only do I enjoy it, but the thing that what I love the most and where it's really grown on me is platforms and algorithms keep changing. There's always new platforms. Each platform always continually has algorithm changes. Like Google alone does more than 8 algorithm changes a day on average. Like that's a
Wow.
lot. So you have to keep up with stuff. You got to keep learning. You continually have new challenges. It's a game of cat and mouse, which I love. And yeah, it's not easy. And that's what for me makes it really fun. And that's where I keep pushing at it and I won't give up because of that.
Is what you have now like is it what you had in mind? Is it what you've been trying to build towards in your career? Or is this like a hodgepodge of stuff that's just happened or like
No, I don't look at career like this is what I want to do and this is how I'm going to grow and make more money. I'm just having fun. Like, don't get me wrong, there is a plan to continually try to grow and expand, you know, hire more people, make more money, but I'm just having fun. Like we're about to complete an acquisition in 30 days in Southeast Asia. We're about to complete another acquisition in Latin America slash Europe in July. So then once those two acquisitions are complete, we'll be roughly at 1,000 employees, right? And right now we're thinking, what's the next 6 to 10 acquisitions? Like we're just having fun doing it. There's not like, oh my God, like I need to do this or I need to do that. Like genuinely having fun, trying to win, beat the competition, being other marketing agencies, and just keep it drives me and it keeps pushing me forward.
And that's so like finding those businesses that you want to acquire. Is that's I mean, that's obviously that sounds like the fun stuff, right? But I mean, like it had to take a long time to get there. It wasn't like before the fun, like what did it look like for you? Like how did you when did the fun start?
Yeah, so before the fun, it was more of the same old stuff. Like I've never not had fun being an entrepreneur and doing what I'm doing. I never felt like it was grinding it out and doing boring stuff.
That's good.
Well, let me rephrase. I cleaned restrooms and picked up trash for a living. Didn't like that. That wasn't fun. So I've done a lot of odd jobs, like selling vacuums door to door. That wasn't fun. But you quickly
Mhm.
learn what you
Yeah.
like and what you don't like. And I think that's just how people adapt.
Were there any like really big moments where you had like it was like an inflection that I mean, I think about like where you got into like software, right? I feel like that's not just marketing anymore. You're just not just servicing, you're building something. Um, is there any was there any like points in time where you like took a big turn in in what you were doing?
No, I wouldn't say there was a big turn. There was a big learning over time, which was focus on a really big market and just continually do that. And that's helped tremendously over the years. Took a long time to really understand that and grasp that, but that did wonders for us over time. Like just really focusing, doubling down on what's working and ignoring the rest.
And is there any like really like I mean, I completely agree like you've got to focus in on like exactly what you want to do, and that's going to help you like you can't be distracted by lots of things when you're trying to get something like make progress in a certain area. But when it comes to like software and doing a business like that,
Yeah.
what kind of things need to fall in place? Like what has to happen before you like I think that there's certain area like things that you need to know like um I like whenever you were starting a business in college versus now, like what kind of thing would be on your mind now if you wanted to start Crazy Egg now versus back then?
It would just be, what is the market size and potential? I think I would really harp on that. I think that's a really important thing that a lot of people take for granted, even we took for granted. Like you got to really look at market size, how big is it? Because it's the same amount of effort to swing for a single versus a triple or a home run. So might as well swing for the fences each and every single time. When you're in a small market, you only can grow and make so much money. So might as well make sure you're in a big market, or else you're just kind of wasting time. I know that sounds bad, but it's true.
I hear you. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. And I've experienced this too in my career when I like in different initiatives I've tried to do. And then I've gotten into some markets where I did realize like just what you said, like the market I got into, that was not, that was not the right market for me. And I realized the audience wasn't there. The audience wasn't the right type of audience after getting started. And then I would scrap that idea, you know?
Yep. And you live and learn, right? Like really you do live and learn, and you learn what's going to work for you, what's not going to work for you, and all these kind of things. It just takes time and patience. I think that's where people get a lot wrong. Even we've gotten wrong in many times in which, it's just, as entrepreneurs, you tend to make mistakes and you learn from them, and hopefully you don't make the same ones over and over again, and that's what causes you to succeed.
And now mostly you guys, you're selling into businesses, entrepreneurs, and to other marketers, right?
Other marketers, enterprises, we typically sell to a VP of marketing, CMO, director of marketing, marketing manager, one of those positions, and it tends to be a large corporation.
Okay. So, I mean, what is that? What's like a huge win for you nowadays?
Huge win for us nowadays is closing good size account, not like $1 million, but like 4, 5, 10 million. That's
And,
always considered a win. We like those.
and that's for like an agency relationship of some sort,
Correct. Yep.
contract? Okay.
Exactly.
And do you also like you've got the tools as well. I mean, your software tools, are you typically, I mean, like an Uber Suggest and um you have a new one too. Was it
Answer the public. We have Uber.
Answer the Public? Yeah, I saw
Yep.
that. Now, are those are you usually pushing for like whenever you come to an enterprise as their agency vendor, do you also like push your software and try to sell that, or is it because that
There's
seems like
separate.
it's mostly for entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah, it's for us to capture all ends of the market, self-service, low end, medium end, high end, etc.
Okay. I mean, I've used Uber Suggest several times to just
Oh,
do
cool.
some. A lot of times, I'm using it for um, kind of some digging on like different accounts, like to see if I can learn more about a website and what's going to that website, and it's something that can feed the conversation whenever you're talking to someone new.
Yep. Thank
It's
you.
kind of
Yeah, there's a lot of amazing tools out there. What we've just learned over time is, you got to end up figuring out what works for you and just try to leverage it and use it and, you know, get get the most out of it. Um, but at the same time, there's so many things out there. You got to also make sure that you're not getting too distracted and trying to do too many things at once.
how's it been like running like an Uber Suggest? Like, do you have a whole lot of users nowadays? I mean, I know it's pretty well known, popular in the
Yeah, we have
marketing
millions
community.
of users. So it's done well. Most of them are free and they don't pay, but yeah, the business has gone well, and I don't really run any specific division. We have people who run different divisions. I'm more so focused on strategy and marketing and client work.
Okay. And I see your videos like every single day on out on LinkedIn. And do you like, I'm wondering if are you always filming these things, or do you just like
Um,
knock out
Batch.
like a whole bunch of them in a day or something like that?
2 days ago or 3 days, 2 days ago, I knocked out maybe like 14, 15 videos in like 30, 40
Okay.
minutes.
See, this what always kills me is like I mean, you guys, I mean, I don't know if it's just you. I know it's like you and your whole team, right? But you guys put out so much content and you've been doing it for so many years consistently from my point of view. And I mean, I see your stuff on my different social feeds. I see your stuff on like YouTube, it'll pop up. And I remember like when you started doing YouTube. I feel like it's been years now. Um,
It's been a while, so but look, it just goes down to continually crank and create content, and over time, some stuff will work out, some stuff won't, but it really is like a numbers game. It takes time, but if you do a lot of things and you do them decent, it can work out.
and the blog too. I mean, the blog is where I first was exposed to what you do, and I think that I've still got several of entries like bookmarked, but I know that you were a writer at some point too, or I don't know, do you consider yourself a writer?
I don't. I have terrible grammar and spelling issues, but Grammarly helps. It's actually better than the Microsoft Word spell check.
Okay.
But I'm a big believer. It's like, look, you may find me on the blog, you may find me on YouTube, you may find me on Instagram or a podcast. I just go omni-channel and try to do it all.
Are you still writing for the Neil Patel blog today, or do you just like
Once a week.
you still
My
write it?
team
Okay.
updates old content, but I write new content once a week.
Yeah, I've noticed that your evergreen content, you get a lot of you do a lot of improvements on that. I've noticed like the YouTube videos showing up being embedded in there and like you're enriching the content. Um which like some of those posts are just they're enormous. They're very long, very in depth. Like I feel like whenever I go through them, someone must have spent a whole lot of time on this piece,
Yeah.
you know?
We spend a lot of time and we have a big team, right? Like we have almost 1,000 employees. So you can get quite a bit done when you have a good amount of people and they're smart and talented and they're smarter than me. So um, It all helps, but everything is a good team effort.
And so like you're working on many things, obviously, and yeah, I mean, having a great team would be fantastic. But um, do you like what eats up all your time these days? I mean, I obviously you're like on this podcast with me. You're probably going out on several other podcasts. Um, do you find yourself out having discussions more often, or are you like what things are taking up your day, or how would you like to prioritize your day? I guess is a better question.
Yeah, the way I like prioritizing my day is I wake up early in the morning, work out, then a lot of phone calls, meetings. But I prioritize my day mainly by just, what is going to move the needle in the next 6 to 12 months and what do I need to focus on that are the big things. And
Okay.
that's it. Kind of like not ignore the rest, but I don't really spend time on the rest.
But do you feel like you have like I mean, you've got a big team, right? You got the resources in place to do that. Like you can pursue the things that are important.
Yes.
That's
So
good.
it makes it easy, right? But when I was smaller and I didn't have the team, I was able to do a lot myself and things would move much quicker because there wasn't as many layers and you don't have to worry about archaic stuff or, perception. You just go and do whatever you want. You're new, you're starting off. What's the worst that can happen? Someone doesn't like it, what do you do? Not that many people were seeing it in the first place.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's a great point. It's like, yeah, how much damage can you really do to yourself? Your audience doesn't really exist yet. So you can go put out, you can test different things, right? Is that
Yes.
is that the same? Like, I mean, you guys have a bigger audience now. Like, so you can't, you've got to be like, are you still like, do you try to be on brand now or do you put out a lot of like what do you do to before you decide what you're gonna put out?
Uh, we really think about what do our ideal customers want to learn about, not what's going to generate the most views. So like I can put out stuff that generates a lot of views, but the problem is a lot of that stuff generates zero customers and zero qualified leads. So we think about what's going to actually
Mm,
produce the most amount of qualified customers.
yeah, that makes sense. And are you your clients today? What did they usually come to you for? I mean, obviously you're Neil Patel Digital. Is it just
Oh,
digital or is like
digital,
what is the main stuff that they like
uh,
to talk to you about?
paid advertising, Google or Facebook, or just general media advice, or connected TV, or SEO, or email marketing, or conversion optimization. Like the list goes on and on.
Is it more B2B or B2C that you're working on?
Both. We even get people asking us to like make commercials. Like we have TV commercials that we've done like with Jennifer Lopez. Like we've literally done some of the most, we've pretty much done most of the things in marketing.
That's really cool. Um, okay. And I mean, so for digital, and there's some different stuff that's been happening, right? I mean, they've got like I wanted to talk to you about like recent events. You know, we've got like the TikTok ban thing going through. I don't know.
Nah,
Has anyone been talking
TikTok's
to you
not
that about that much?
TikTok's not getting banned. All that's gonna happen is the US government is gonna force their sale and some US company is gonna end up buying them or multiple US companies are gonna buy it together and you're still gonna have TikTok. It'll just be owned by a US company instead of a Chinese company, at least the US version. That's all that's gonna happen.
Okay. Oh, well, they sound pretty confident about that. I think
I,
that
I would bet $1 million on that. If someone's like, "Oh, it's gonna get banned and disappear," I would bet $1 million, maybe even 10. I pick a number. I would bet it. That it's gonna stick around and it's just gonna be owned by a U.S. company.
all right. Well, you heard it from Neil, but I think that I think there's a really good there's a ton of people posting about it. You know, there's a lot of concern about it right now. Creators and small businesses on TikTok, you know, they have issues they're worried about. They're getting ready. They're trying to prepare to transition off of the platform, you
You don't need to
know?
prepare anything. The platform's not gonna not exist.
Okay. Well, good deal. I think that I mean it's interesting to think about, you know, what might happen with that.
No, no. Okay,
And
let's just be really simple. If you owned a company here in China, okay, let's do role reversal. All right. And the
okay.
company was worth $100 billion. And China says you got to shut it down or you can sell it to some Chinese company. Would you just say, you know what, Neil? Everyone else, I don't care for $100 million, let it go away. Or 100 billion, not million, 100 billion. Or would you say, you know what, man, government sucks. I can't do what I want. Let me just take the $100 billion. It's better than a zero. Are you gonna take the 100 billion or are you gonna take a zero?
I hear
You're gonna
you.
take a billion.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen.
All right. I'll take your word for it. You know, I think that it's a hot topic, right? But that makes sense. Do you have a lot? I
Yeah.
mean, do you have a lot of clients? This is what you're telling your clients, and they come talk to you about it?
Correct. Yes. That's what I tell my clients.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's important for our business too. You know, where I'm working right now at CIEE, we do a lot of TikTok advertising with students.
This TikTok advertising does really well. We're seeing great ROI in it.
Yeah, I mean, it does work pretty well. I think it delivers decently, and we definitely reach the right audience. So it's I mean, it's been changing over time, right? Their tool in the back end. Um, but it's pretty good platform for reaching the people. And I think they give you a little bit more reach organically than some of the other platforms. I don't know, like whenever you look at shorts versus like TikTok and like Reels, I feel
Yeah,
like TikTok will just push you out a little bit more.
it does. But it's a good platform. I like using it. I like Instagram as well. Although I try not to log onto these social platforms too much. They get addicting and their time suck.
Definitely, definitely. Um, Okay, and then like, how about like kind of the other more standardized stuff that people have done for years, like you know, email. Do you guys still like are you servicing on all fronts on as far as digital goes, like email? You know, you've got your email, your
All
paid media,
email,
organic,
CRM, everything.
and you produce as well, like content and video and all of those elements.
We do it all. Blog posts, social posts, podcasts, commercials, both for online and offline. We literally do pretty much any form of marketing. We help companies with websites, brochures, etc.
Okay, okay, and like, I guess where are your biggest states, like where you guys have a presence? I know your team is just, it looks huge whenever I go out to your site.
Global. US is a big market for us. India is a big market. Brazil is, UK is, most of Europe is a decent sized market. We're growing really fast in Southeast Asia. That's a good market for us. Southeast Asia, specifically being Singapore, Hong Kong, and Malaysia. But yeah, we're growing everywhere.
And are you always going everywhere too, or are you? Yeah.
Actually,
Okay. What's your are you guys like, what's next for your lineup of businesses, I guess?
we're buying two more in the next 3 more months, and then we'll probably buy another few more by the end of the year. We'll probably buy 4 businesses this year, if I had to guess. We try to buy at least one a quarter.
Are those going to be like technology companies, or are they other marketing
It's typically
agencies?
other marketing agencies.
Okay. And what does an agency have to do to like to meet your requirements to be part of Neil Patel Digital?
Build in size, have a lot of enterprise logos, have low churn, good culture, good team.
Okay. Do you like go in and do you go in and audit them yourself, or like how do you
Uh,
assess?
We have a corp dev team that does a lot of the analysis.
Okay. And it seems like a lot, you know, it's just a lot to take on to bring on different companies. It's just like, is it a process, or like do they just, how do you rebrand and everything whenever they come in?
It's a process. Our CEO knows that answer better than me because he's done it 30 plus times. You know, I just encourage them and I let them do their thing because a lot of the team members have been doing this for like 20 plus years. So they know it like the back of their hand.
Okay. And do you like meet and do you know these people, these other agency owners whenever they come on? Like, or do they stay on usually, like the founders or stars with those agencies?
They do, but it's not like I know the people before we buy them.
Okay. Well, Neil, I mean, what is your passion these days? What gets the fire
Work.
going?
I love work. I love working and it's fun for me.
Mostly digital, right?
That's correct, yes.
I like your content on the like social on the SEO work. That's probably where I've spent the most time reading on Neil Patel Digital is on the SEO content, and then some of the pieces on it's more like it's mostly SEO, but like website kind of the website management work, like
Yeah.
content a little bit too. Um, and I know whenever I went back and I bookmarked things like when you know index pages or like when should you consolidate, like if you have multiple pages that are bringing in traffic for the same keywords, that kind of thing, like several of those kind of pieces you put out have been really helpful for me and like figuring out SEO.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Is that still like, are you guys still going to be focusing on building more of that content, or like is there other content areas that you guys are branching out into that are going to be a priority?
No, we probably spend majority of our time creating content on everything digital marketing related, and we try to do it in mass quantity. And some
Okay.
of it hits and a lot of people see it, and majority doesn't hit and a lot of people don't see it, right? So
Is there like a quantity target that you guys go for like every week?
no, there's no quantity target. We try to optimize for quality, but we try to at least get something out every single day.
Okay, every single day. And that's on all platforms?
Yes.
And that's not just Neil, is it just, it's not just Neil Patel either, right? Like, do you have, like, you've got your own personal Neil Patel?
And then NP Digital, our corporation, and then we have like a NP Digital Brazil and India, etc. So yeah, it's a lot of content.
Yeah, that's a lot. All right. Well, I mean, I'm trying to basically start this, like this podcast. I'm trying to start talking with people who are entrepreneurs, people who are like in there in the mix, leading the way, doing things new and doing things, making things happen in business. Either software entrepreneurs or folks that are marketing entrepreneurs. You kind of hit both of those things. So, um, are you working on any new like softwares or business ideas right now that are like in the
Nope,
oven?
nothing really new.
Nothing
Same
too
old
new.
stuff and continually grinding away.
Which one of your platforms is kind of bringing in the most engagement these days?
For social platforms or our
Oh, I mean your like your software, like your Uber Suggest and
Uber Search is the biggest, Answer the Public is the second biggest for software.
okay. And I saw that on Answer the Public, you could go in and you could actually see what people are looking for on TikTok and Bing and and like several
Yeah,
other
w-
engines.
we do it for all of them. It's worked out well, especially the TikTok side. So
That's really interesting. And I think that's a really helpful thing too, because we've got all these people trying to figure out how to optimize for the search in the platform, which is a little bit different than your standard search engines. And I'm curious, like, does that require a partnership like with that platform, like with TikTok, or is like how are you guys able to um, capture that?
it's just
Not
through
trying to
data.
get secrets, but just like,
Yeah,
if you could give me an
feeds
idea.
and licensing and stuff like that and APIs. So
Okay.
it's just a combo of a few things like that.
I think it's a really cool thing. And I haven't tried that one out yet, but I'm going to try it out pretty soon, probably.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out.
All right, Neil. I mean, I think you've answered several of my questions here, and I appreciate you coming on and talking to me. Is there any tips that you have for marketers getting started or marketers that are trying to find their specialization? Um,
If you're trying to find your specialization, try a lot of different marketing tactics and strategies, and you'll quickly see which ones you're naturally better at. And usually the ones you're naturally better at, you kind of tend to like more. Double down on that and focus.
Good advice. All right. TikTok
Awesome.
bill's is not gonna ban TikTok in the US, and figure out what you're good at and double down. I got it, Neil.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Thanks a lot, Neil. And keep doing what you're doing. I'll keep following you, and if you haven't, guys, go check out the neilpatel.com and check out his blog and take a look at some of the free softwares and solutions that he's got out there, because it's really helpful for people in digital that are getting started. Thanks, Neil.
Take care.